Kundo: The Age of the Rampant is a film directed by Yoon Jong-bin and released July 23, 2014. When the film came out, it was the highest opening day box office in Korea at 4.08 billion won, or almost $4 million, and it won 11 awards. The film is focused mainly on two main characters, the first being Dolmo-chi or Dochi, played by Ha Jung-woo, and Joo-young, played by Kang Dong-won. There are also some important supporting characters in this film. Dae-ho, played by Lee Sung-min, Ma-hyun, played by Yoon Ji-hae, and Tang-chu, played by Lee Kyung-yeon. Some background for this film is the social classes that were in Korea during the Joseon dynasty. This is the time period where the movie was set. During this time, Korea had something similar to a caste system that determined the jobs you could have and the property you could own. Below the king was the Yangban class, which was the nobility and held most of the wealth, land, and slaves. They also aimed to do well in royal examinations that allowed them to obtain positions of power in the government. The Jungin was the middle class, and the illegitimate children of the Yangban, the Seols, fell into this class. They are considered to be above the common people and could work jobs like accountants and physicians. The Sungmin commoners worked jobs like artisans and merchants, and while some owned their lands, many worked on Yangban properties. The Cheonmin were at the very bottom of the hierarchy and were either free or slaves. The free could work jobs like innkeepers or grave diggers, or any job that dealt with the slaughter of animals like butchers. During this time where the movie was placed, many of the people who were not elite, or not the elite of the Yangban, were blocked from the higher government positions and were very poor. The movie opens in 1862 at the house of a noble, Governor Choi, who was having a party. At the party, the Chuseol clan, a group of bandits who fight for the poor, attack and raid the house for rice and other loot, and give them to the poor. Here is where we are first introduced to our supporting cast. After that, we are introduced to our main character, Dolmo-chi. He is a butcher, which is considered to be very low class, and he is called on by Joo-yoon, a nobleman's son, to kill a woman for a large amount of money, and Dolmo-chi accepts. When he is faced with the woman, he realizes she is pregnant and he could not kill her, allowing for her to flee. Because of this, Joo-young has Dolmo-chi and his family tied up and locked in their house while it was set ablaze. Dolmo-chi lived, but found his mother and sister dead. When Mochi tries to confront Joo-yoon, he is promptly beaten up and arrested. Joo-yoon bribes the new governor into ordering for Mochi's execution that night. However, impressed by his determination in his fight against Joo-yoon, Chuseol decides to save Mochi and take him in and give him the name Dochi. Joo-yoon's backstory is then explained. He was the son of a prostitute and a noble, Joo-suk. Joo-yoon was purchased from his mother and taken in to be raised by his father because Joo-yoon was his only son at the time. When Woo-suk's wife gave birth to a son, Joo-yoon was discarded, turning him into a bitter and vengeful man who became an amazing martial artist. It is also revealed that that son, So-in, was killed in the Choi Mansion raid, and the woman that Mochi was told to kill was his wife, making her baby the heir to the Jew estate and fortune. For the next 2 years, Dochi trains and becomes one of the most feared bandits, as well as raising So-in's son as his own, as the mother passed during childbirth. Joo-young, during this time, was taking advantage of the illiterate common folk and tricking them into signing their land away and enslaving the people. Chuseol planned a raid. Dochi confronts Joo-yoon and lures him to an ambush led by Dae-ho and some other bandits, while the rest of the bandits raid the rice stores and loot the house to give the people in the village. The raid ends with the death of Dae-ho and a heavily wounded Dochi, and Joo-yoon decides to take revenge on the common people. Tae-cho was captured and forced to reveal the location of the bandits' hideout. The battle was brutal and many of the bandits were killed or captured. Ju-yoon takes back his nephew and returns him to the Ju mansion. Dochi was too late to save any of his comrades and swears to get his revenge on Ju-yoon. The next day, it is ordered that all of the captured bandits will be publicly hanged. Dochi stops the execution using a gun, and the common people join Dochi in raiding the Ju mansion. Ju-yoon, shockingly calm with his nephew in his hand, accepts Dochi's challenge to duel. The battle ends with Ju-yoon taking the fatal blow as he was protecting the boy in his arms. Dochi is now the leader of the Chuseol clan. He takes the child and rides off with the remaining bandits and the common people behind him. One of the main things that I learned while watching the movie was the importance of fighting against unfairness and tyranny, especially for those that can't fight for themselves, instead of being complacent. I also learned that the rigidness of a class system can often lead to corruption that doesn't benefit anyone. Thank you for watching.